Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Kulbhushan Chandel from Himachal Pradesh University Shimla. Today we are going to talk on module Understanding the Human Being as Coexistence of Self and Body from paper Human Values and Indian Ethos. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand human being as coexistence of self and body, describe the need of self and body, discuss activities of self and body, and finally explaining difference between self and body. Let me introduce the topic first. Human being is more than just a body. In fact, the human being is a coexistence of the self and the body. There is a need to understand human being not only as human body but also in the context of self, which acts as observer or user of the body. Body is the physical appearance with a particular structure and features, whereas self is the aliveness of the persons, that is, the entity that keeps the body. To understand basic difference between body and self, answer to simple question will help, like who need food, I or body? Who needs shelter? Who needs clothes? Who needs respect? Who needs happiness? The answer for first three questions is body and remaining two is I. However, the further discussion will help in understanding with this difference clearly. However, the further discussion will help in understanding this difference clearly. Self and body are different in terms of their needs. Needs of the body are physical in nature. However, the needs of self are not physical in nature. Body needs food for nourishment, clothes for protection from different kinds of weather, and some other facilities to ensure right utilization of the body. These can be categorized as physical facilities or subidha. Self needs respect, happiness, trust, etc. Thus, the need of self is to live in state of continuous happiness. There is a need to work for physical facilities of body. It is equally important to work for self to ensure respect, happiness, and trust in I. Needs of body and self. Continuous or temporary for body, the food is a temporary need. For example, X friend offer him burger and X eats it. After finishing it, if he has no desire to eat more, then some friends' insistence for having more burgers will turn into punishment. In other words, body needs food only periodically. Similarly, body does not require same type of clothing during different weather conditions. Its needs for clothing is temporary. One cannot wear same sweater or warm clothes during winter and in summer. Body requires a change in clothing according to different weather conditions. There is a need to protect body from adverse weather conditions, and therefore a house is required. House provides shelter and protection, but one cannot live in house or in a room throughout one's life to remain protected. It will become imprisonment. Thus, house is needed for a limited time during day or different days. So, need for house is also temporary in nature. In the same way, other facilities for the body are required temporarily. For example, one cannot sit in a one cannot sit in an aeroplane for a very long period. This can be concluded that body does not have a continuous need for physical facilities, clothing, food, shelter, and other facilities are also required for some amount of time, or in other words, the body's needs for physical facilities are temporary in nature. On the other hand, the needs of self are continuous. Everyone wants to be happy all the time. Similarly, everyone wants acceptance in a relationship continuously and not for some times only. Each of us wants respect continuously. One, no one wants to lose the feeling of being respected or feelings of happiness even for a single minute. Thus, need for I are continuous. Thus, needs for I are continuous in nature, whereas the needs for body are temporary. There is not a single need of body that is continuous. This is also true in case of need for air. While breathing, one inhales once and next moment one exhales. Thus, breathing is interrupted. But need for feelings and happiness for I is continuous in nature. No one wants respect only at one moment and being disrespected the other moments. Needs of body and self, quantitative or qualitative. The needs of body are quantitative. One can quantify the requirements of body like clothes, food, shoes, rooms, cars, etc. The number of these requirements can be small or large for body of different persons, but this is limited in quantity. Physical facilities are essential in the beginning, but their continuous uses or consumption becomes unbearable with the passage of time. One can only imagine of having limitless physical facilities, but if one has too much of these physical facilities or tries to use more and more of them, it starts becoming of a big problem. Needs of the self are qualitative in nature. Our feelings like happiness, respect, and affection are qualitative and not quantitative. Then it comes fulfilling needs of the self and body. The body's need for physical facilities, that is called suvidha, can be fulfilled through appropriate uh, physiochemical or man-made things, while the need of the self for happiness, that is called sukha, can be fulfilled through proper understanding and right feelings. Both kinds of needs cannot be fulfilled in the same manner. They require completely different ways. One may have adequate physical facilities, but if one is not having proper understanding, one will not be happy. Use of the physical facilities fulfills the need of body alone. The needs of self are not addressed through the use of physical facilities. Thus, for human beings, there is a need to ensure proper understanding, good relations, and physical facilities. Mixing up two set of needs. There is a common misunderstanding that one needs physical facilities only, and so one requires to work for that. It will bring happiness. However, there is a need to work for both, as one is need of body and other one is the need of self. people think that they require unlimited facilities or wealth to have constant happiness. But this is not true. Think of any facility, be it car, food, or room. Each has a limit. Another point to discuss here is that people think that physical facilities bring appreciation from others and consequently it brings happiness for self. This is again not true. For example, if one is having a luxury car, it may bring appreciation from someone or may arouse jealousy in the mind of someone else. There is one more common mistake made by the people. They think that good clothes ensure respect from others, but this is not true. Activities in the self and body. The earlier discussion has thrown light on the needs of the body and self. Now discussion will be carried out on the activities in self and body to have further insight into the difference in the concept of self and body. In our daily life, various activities are carried out. These activities can be broadly classified as activities that occur only in self, activities that occur with the involvement of both self and body, and activities that occurs only in body with the consent of self. Activities that occurs only in self. Activities like imagining, dreaming, thinking, choosing, analyzing, desiring, understanding, etc. takes place in self or I and can be called as my activities. These are not occurring by themselves. Rather, self is the entity responsible for these activities. These are not occurring by themselves. Rather, self is the entity responsible for these activities. It is important to mention here that these activities keep on occurring in us and we are mostly unaware of them. We can notice them by paying some attention. Another point of worth mentioning here is that these activities take place whether maybe the state of body. For example, one cannot stop thinking even if one is sick and in a hospital bed. Activities happening with the involvement of both self and body. There are various activities like running, walking, eating, doing household, seeing, smelling, listening, etc. that take place with the involvement of body and eye. The choices and decisions are made in self and these are implemented through the body. For example, in case of eating, one first decides the food to eat, use hands to carry food to mouth, use mouth to chew food and then swallow it. Thus, eating activity involves both self, which makes choice, and body, which carries out the activities. Now, the question is, who gets the taste of the food, self or the body? The answer is obvious, that is me or self. In case of listening, both body and self are involved. For example, P's father asked him to get medicine from other room. P goes to the room, brings medicine and gives it to the father. Here's the body's participation is to receive the words of father. Eye's involvement is to receive information from the body and to get the meaning of those words and give direction. Then body works accordingly. Activities that occur only in body with the consent of self, blood flow, digesting, breathing, etc., are the activities that occurs by themselves but with the consent of I. These activities do not active participation of self. In other words, I does not require to pay proper attention to these activities to make them occur. For example, breathing happens by itself and with I's consent. That is, I can stop breathing when I wishes to do so, but does not require to pay particular attention to keep breathing. These activities are called as bodily functions or simply the activities of body. Activities of knowing, assuming, recognizing and fulfilling in the self. In context of self, which is considered as a conscious entity, there are two more activities performed by self in addition to recognizing and fulfilling. In reality, the performance of recognizing and fulfilling activities in human being depends upon knowing and assuming. Let me summarize the topic now. Human being is more than just a body. There is a need to understand human being not only as human body but also in the context of self, which acts as observer or user of the body. Body is the physical appearance with a particular structure and features, whereas self is the aliveness of the persons, that is, the entity that keeps the body. Self and body are different in terms of their needs. Needs of body are physical in nature. However, needs of self are not physical in nature. Body needs food for nourishment, clothes for protection from different kinds of weather, and some other facilities to ensure right utilization of the body. These can be categorized as physical facilities or subidha. Self needs respect, happiness, trust, etc. Thus, the need of self is to live in state of continuous happiness. Needs of body are quantitative and temporary in nature, whereas needs of self are qualitative and continuous in nature. Activities like imagining, dreaming, thinking, choosing, understanding, etc., take place in self, and activities like running, walking, eating, seeing, smelling, listening, etc., they take place with the involvement of body and eye. Blood flow, digesting, breathing, etc., are the activities that occur by themselves in the body but with the consent of I. The human being is a coexistence of conscious self and material body. Conscious entity performs activities of knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling, whereas material entity performs only activities of recognizing and fulfilling. There is a need to work for physical facilities of body. It is equally important to work for self to ensure respect, happiness, and trust in I. The body's need for physical facilities, that is called suvidha, can be fulfilled through appropriate physiochemical or man-made things, while the need of the self for happiness, that is called sukha, can be fulfilled through proper understanding and right feelings. Thank you.